another bad day at school. You feel your life is falling apart, and you can't imagine getting better. All you want is for your pain to stop. You haven't been happy in months, and you can't remember the last time you genuinely smiled or laughed. You sit on your bed and look at photos of everyone having fun without a worry in the world. You see tweets of friends talking about the happiest days of their lives and Snapchats of people enjoying themselves. You lay back with a note in your hand and decide for the last time the world is better off without you. Teen suicide rates are increasing due to cyberbullying being so effortless. We all in this room use social media and should be aware of the negative impacts it has on others. We have witnessed cyberbullying, and we all have known someone who has committed suicide. Suicide rates are increasing because of the abundant amount of information available to the public. Today we'll be telling you about the increasing rates for suicide, why kids are using social media at a younger age, how the internet is impacting suicide rates, how social media makes it easier to have information to everyone's lives, and we will also inform you about the weather effect and how it impacts suicide rates. We'll give you 3 solutions for this phenomenon. First, Anna will tell us about how social media is impacting suicide rates.
In the past decade, suicide rates have been steadily increasing. Correlating to this rise in teenage suicide, the use of social media has also skyrocketed. Social media includes a wide variety of things from Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, blogs, chat rooms, and so much more. Bullying is a huge factor that can lead to suicide. Social media has allowed bullying to become easier by putting up a barrier between the victim and the bully. It also allows people to say hurtful things anonymously, which makes it easier for them, and makes it seem less like they are actually bullying, which normalizes it. According to the article, Social Media and Suicide, A Public Health Perspective by David D. Luxton, Jennifer D. June, and Jonathan M. Farrell, a study performed by Hinduaj and Patchen indicated that victims of cyberbullying in middle school children were nearly 2 times more likely to attempt suicide than those that weren't. Although it is nearly impossible to pinpoint the direct correlation of teenage suicide to social media, it has been shown that social media can increase feelings of suicide by increasing feelings of loneliness, insecurity, and depression, especially for people who already have pre-existing mental health conditions. Kids are starting to use social media at a younger age, which allowing them to see and read information that normally would not be age appropriate for them. The younger a child is when using social media, the more impressionable they are to the different harsh things that are on the web. The internet is a very handy tool by allowing us to have millions of years of information at the tip of our fingers. If there's a shooting in a city across the country from us, we will know about within an hour. The earlier that kids access social media, the earlier they're exposed to the horrific world events that are occurring around us. Exposing them earlier than they are mentally mature enough can cause kids to believe that these events are normal and even sometimes okay. Along with this, kids can look up anything they want to. If they want to harm themselves, they can look up how to do it. If they see different idols that they have potentially participating in self-harm events, then they might think that this is okay too. Through social media, kids have access to information and knowledge they normally would not have access to. Social media has shown to be a contributing factor in teenagers' mental health. Now Michaela will talk about how this phenomenon has come about.
The internet is open to anyone and everyone to be on. Almost everyone has some sort of social media in their life. That means it's easy for people to get bullied or harassed, which can lead to bad mental health and bad self-esteem. 43% of teens report being bullied online rather than the 19% of bullying that is face-to-face at school. According to the Teen Safe article, children in middle school are 2 times more likely to attempt suicide than those who are cyberbullied. You can see that there's no doubt there's a relationship between suicide and social media. And with the never-ending advance in technology, the situation can only get worse. With social media, it has made it easier to become access to everyday lives of celebrities. That being said, social media allows many different attachments to people's profiles that can be viewed whether they know them or not. This is where the Werther effect comes in. The Werther effect, also called the copycat suicide, is when a celebrity commits suicide and the media gains attention from it and their followers imitate the same suicide. It's all based from a book called The Suffering from Young Werther by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Werther, the main character in the book, commits suicide, and how so many people relate to Werther, they do the same thing. According to the article The Pattern of Death by D. Goldman, an interview with Dr. Philip, suicide of a celebrity is an enormous effect on people. For example, after Marilyn Monroe's death, After Marilyn Monroe's death, the rate of suicide rose by 12%. This rise shows how important the influence of celebrities have on their fans. With the Werther effect, this has made it very difficult because so many people have social media and have access to these fatal tragedies. This is causing an increase in suicide among adolescents because they see their role models take their life and get vulnerable and gives them permission to do the same thing. Now Anna will talk about some potential solutions to help alleviate this rising problem.
Social media is a phenomenon that more than likely will not end in our future. It is unrealistic to say that this is an easy fix. First of all, let's talk about how all of us in this class can try to help start to alleviate this problem. It has been shown that cyberbullying increases risks of loneliness and insecurity that can target already impressionable kids. Being nice on social media as well as in person can help to make the negative thoughts that people have about themselves more positive. Another potential solution that we can do worldwide is to put more resources into studying the Werther effect in order to prevent horrible responses to heavily covered suicides in the web and social media. News articles should have a standard set of guidelines when covering a celebrity suicide to make sure that to prevent the rise of increased suicides from fans and other people who feel like they can relate to the celebrity. Lastly, the best solution for anyone who's using the internet is to use social media for suicide prevention and to promote crisis hotlines. For example, if you look up resources for suicide, then the article Suicide and Suicidal Thoughts by Mayo Clinic will come up saying that anyone who is having suicidal thoughts or feelings can call 911 or the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 800-273-8255. Social media is a very powerful thing that can be a very good thing if we as humans let it be.
Suicide rates are increasing because of the abundance amount of information available to the public. Today we told you about the increasing rates in suicide, how kids are using social media at a younger age, and how social media is affecting the suicide rates. We discussed how social media allows people to stay in touch with others' lives. We also went over what the Werther effect was and how it affects the increase in suicide rates when it is tied to role models' lives. We discussed how we can tackle the problems of social media correlating with suicide, and how we can use social media to prevent suicide and inform people on the Werther effect. We think that informing people on the Werther effect can be beneficial for preventing suicide rates. We as a class can promote the use of social media by using it for suicide prevention. We can also bring attention to the dangers of suicide and be more aware of the effects our social footprints have on others. Social media has impacted our generation's life immensely. We as a generation should want to leave a positive impact on social media for the next generations to